Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alisha Elay, and today I'm going to give you guys a quick lock terminology glossary kind of rundown, okay? So, if you're interested in learning more about lock maintenance, please keep on watching. I might be looking down a few times. There is 3 different types of lock maintenance that I will be speaking about today. One is interlocking, 2, crochet maintenance, and 3, the standard retwist. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on what is what, so that way you know what you want or what you want to do for your next retwist, or just in general, right before you start your process, so you are knowledgeable when you are speaking to your loctician. So with that being said, let's get into it. First, starting off with interlocking. These are all different types of maintenance techniques. Whichever one you feel works for you. There's people that will sometimes do both of these multiple of these methods within their retwisting journey, whatever, their lock journey, whatever have you. It's all about personal preference, right? And how you want your locks to look. So I'm going to start with interlocking. Interlocking is a maintenance technique that, sorry, I wrote down my notes and I forgot what the hell I was saying. Where you pull the end of the actual lock through to the root and pretty much will do that continuously in a 3 or 4 point rotation. So north to south, west to east, and do that in 4 points. Until they get to the root, to make sure that you're tightening the new growth, right? So pretty much interlocking, they use a small needle that has a big eye and a small eye. So big area, smaller area, where you're able to stick your lock in and push it up to the smaller eye and then weave it in until you can't do so anymore. The benefits of interlocking is actually that you have a longer lasting maintenance. So you can wash your hair and you won't have to worry about your retwist unraveling. You don't have to do interlocking as often. You don't have to retwist your hair as often. It lasts so much longer. One thing about interlocking, though, is that you might not always have that seamless cylinder. You might have bumps and grooves and things of that sort, being that interlocking is a different process than the standard retwist. So speaking of the standard retwist, I'm going to get into the retwist. So with the retwist, you can do it 2 different ways. There's the palm roll, and then there's the standard comb retwist. With the standard comb retwist, you're using a comb, clearly, and you're going to comb through the hair, and then you're going to use that part of the barber comb, which is like a long comb that starts off small and then ends up a little bit bigger. They usually comb through it so that way you have, you gather all the hair, all the new growth and everything. And you will use that comb and twist your hand in a circular motion so that way you're getting this seamless cylinder. The retwist is great for creating a seamless cylinder. That way that all of your locks pretty much look very seamless and pretty much the same size for the most part. If you have started off with the same sizes, they will stay the same. So a retwist is intended to shape the root area, right? Seamless cylinder. That's the easiest way that you could think of a retwist, is creating a seamless cylinder. Only thing is that with retwists, they don't last as long as they would if you were interlocked, right? So your retwist can last between, depending on your hair texture and depending on what products you use, can last between 1 to 4 weeks if you're just having your hair straight down without a style. If you have a style like how I have my 2-strand twist in, these can last up to 4 to 6 weeks depending on how long you keep your twist in, right? Or if you just have a different style, your retwist will last as long as your style lasts. You might get a little frizziness, but there's always ways to combat the frizziness. So if you're interested in combating frizzy, check out one of my old videos. how to maintain your frizz. Check that out. But yeah, pretty much palm rolling is pretty much the technique where you're using your palm and you're like rolling it or twisting it in a seamless cylinder, so that way you have one seamless lock, if that makes sense. And then now, last but not least, crochet maintenance. Crochet maintenance pretty much is the technique in which you are interlocking the new growth, right? And that's pretty much a way of, it's similar to interlocking in a way, but you're instant locking your actual new growth. And typically in a crochet maintenance, the loctician or you yourself would pretty much interlock the amount of new growth and probably leave maybe like an inch or like a few centimeters, whatever makes you comfortable enough, so that way you can actually do the retwist as well. There are some people that don't do that. It's up to you. It's all about your preference. You can either just stop at the crochet maintenance and try to tighten as close as you can to your root, so that way you still have your shape and everything. While there's people that will crochet majority of their new growth and then do the standard palm roll or like comb retwist, whatever have you. That's all about your personal preference. And the reason why I say it's all about your personal preference, because for me, I've done a crochet maintenance. I've been locked for 9 months. I've done one crochet maintenance, and that was because my hair grows really, really fast. So for people that have really like fast new growth and like you feel like you gonna have to retwist your hair every month, you don't have to do that. So for me, I think I waited, I would say 4 months after I got my, I'm gonna say I think it was at my 4 month mark is when I got my crochet maintenance. And I didn't realize that my hair grew that much. I was just like, yo, is this what life is gonna look like when I need a retwist? Like, damn, my hair is thick, y'all. So for me to have really thick hair, when I washed my hair, it was like I was losing length. Because my hair was, I had a lot of new growth. So when I went to my loctician, I was just like, I do want to maintain and like, tighten some areas or whatever have you. So she tightened all of my locks as well as my new growth. So I was just like, yeah. She was like, you have so much new growth. So locked on my new growth. And then she did the palm roll right after. So that way I was able to maintain that style for about like 6 weeks. Before actually needing another like retwist. You should not be retwisting your hair every month, honestly. But then it also depends on the integrity of your hair, how thick your hair is. Some people could get away with it. I wouldn't recommend it, but some people, because their hair is so thick that they need to maintain it every month. If you do not have as thick of hair as that, you should definitely wait 6 to 8 weeks. Honestly, waiting 6 to 8 weeks is not that much different than doing the month. But you're not putting as much stress on your hair when you're waiting longer to do your retwist. And then you can always just get like a crochet maintenance, or you can learn how to do it yourself. Crochet maintaining is not that hard. You're pretty much just grabbing the hair and you're interlocking, not interlocking, instant locking by using the crochet needle to mat the hair together. Those are the three standard ways in which people typically will maintain their hair. And if you're not maintaining your hair, typically some people like to do free forming or semi free forming. That pretty much is allowing your hair to do what it do, and that can cause your hair actually not to have a distinct shape. You might have different, like one size of your lock might be different than the other size of the next lock. There's no seamless and like standard way in which having a free formed locking process. So if you're interested in having some seamless and you want your locks to look very neat, definitely figure out which type of maintenance works better for you, whether it's interlocking. A lot of people that interlock are typically ones that have sister locks. But you know, those that have traditional locks, bigger locks, also can interlock. People that have wicks typically do crochet maintenance as a way. And this is the way I'm trying to give you guys perspective. The bigger locks typically do crochet maintenance. Smaller locks usually do interlocking, and whatever size you want, you can do both. Okay, you can do retwisting, palm roll, whatever have you, whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. It all depends on what you want your locks to look like. Everyone's locks look different. There's people that do both interlocking and retwisting. All about what you feel like you should do for yourself. But hope that helps. There's 3 different types of ways: interlocking, crochet maintenance, and the standard retwist. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. With that being said, thank you all for watching. Please check out the next set of videos. Peace, y'all.